Hello everyone, I Puneet Upadhyay, HOD of Mechanical Department, Jain Polytechnic Belgavi, handling the subject Computer Integrated Manufacturing. In previous session, that is in session 4, we have discussed the chapter regarding NC and CNC machine. In that chapter, we have studied what is NC, the components of an NC system, the application of an NC machine, the motion control system, the features of a CNC machine, the application of a CNC machine, the types of CNC machine, the machine control unit, the distributed numerical control system, the machining center, the classification of a machining center, and feature of a CNC machining centers, then most likely questions for the examination. So in this session, we are going to begin a new chapter, that is computer aided manufacturing. So what will be covered? So in this session, we will be studying what is a CAM, categories of CAM, group technology, part classification and coding system, application of group technology, cellular manufacturing, machine cells, flexible manufacturing system, components of FMS, different types of FMS, computer aided process planning, methods of computer aided process planning system, benefits of computer aided process planning, then most likely questions for the examination. Now let us begin with the what is a CAM. The CAM stands for computer aided manufacturing. So what it basically it deals with. So it is a use of a software to control machine tools and related machinery in the manufacturing of workpieces. The CAM may also refer to the use of computer to assist in all operations of manufacturing plant, including planning, management, transportation and storage. CAM is a computer aided process after computer aided design and sometimes computer aided engineering, that is CAE. So beginning we start with the computer aided design, then after finalizing the design, the next we need to manufacturing the component. In this process, the computer aided manufacturing, that is a CAM, plays an important role. Next, the categories of a CAM. There are two categories in a CAM. There are computer monitoring and control, then manufacturing support applications. So what is this computer monitoring and control? Computer monitoring and control, it involves direct computer interface with the manufacturing process for the purpose of monitoring and controlling process. Here during the manufacturing process, the computer involvement is made directly for controlling and monitoring the process so that the process is carried out step by step, and if there is any error, the computer directly shows the signal of error so that the rectification can be done easily. Next one is manufacturing support applications. So in this system, computer is used to support the production operations of a plant, but there is not direct interface between the computer and the manufacturing process. So in this, unlike like the computer monitoring and control, a computer does not directly interface with the manufacturing support applications. So there is no direct interface between the computer and the manufacturing process. Next one is the group technology. So what is this group technology? Group technology is nothing but a manufacturing technique in which parts having similarities in geometry, manufacturing process and functions are manufactured in one location using a small number of machine or processes. So this figure represents the group technology. You can see the group technology at the center. So what all can increase and what we can reduce. So in increase we have the productivity, the costing accuracy, the customer service, the order potential, then comes the component standardization and rationalization, reliability of estimates, then effective machine operations. So in reduce we can do overall cost, finished part stock, overall production, then work movement, work in process, downtime, setting time, paperwork and planning effort. So what is this group technology? The group technology, another word called as the part family or a group family. So in this, a part family is a collection of the parts which are similar due to the geometric size and shape. The parts within the family are different but have close similarities. The part family technique is applied in a modern manufacturing system. So this group technology consists of this whole part family. So that is why the name is given as the part family or the group family. So in a conventional system, the workpiece has to move several times between the sections to get processed. To overcome these difficulties, the machine is arranged in a cell. Each cell is specified in manufacturing a particular part family. So here during the process, it has to move the different locations. For example, from the productivity to the costing accuracy, then next it comes the customer service, then the order potential. So this each part is divided into different cells so that the process is identified easily. So in this case the group technology plays an important role. So this is the explanation regarding the group technology what we have discussed. Next comes the parts classification and coding. So what is this part classification and coding? This is a method of grouping into families which involves an examination of individual design and manufacturing attributes of each part. The attributes of the parts are uniquely identified by means of a code number. This classification and coding may be carried out on the entire list of active parts of the firm and may be used to establish the part families. For example, parts produced in the shop during a certain given time period could be examined to identify part family categories. Next, the coding system. What is this coding system? A coding system involves using symbols to identify the parts, the design and manufacturing attributes. The symbols may be numerical or alphabet or both. There are three types of coding systems. Basically, the OPTIS system, the MI class system, third one is the code system. Okay, now we are going to study in detail the OPTIS system. So what is this OPTIS system? Basically, the OPTIS system is nothing but the parts and coding system, okay, where it represents the efforts in the group technology and in perhaps the best known as a classification and coding schemes. So in this system what we do, okay, we have basically the OPTIS codes having three sections, that is first 5 digit in the geometric form of code which is followed by the supplementary code, then next this may be followed by the company specific 4-digit secondary code which is intended for describing the production, operating and sequence. So now in this case, so when we come to the diagram point of view, so you can see the basic structure of the OPTIS systems. So in this, the first digit represents the component class, the second digit represents the overall or main shape which deals with the external shape, the third digit is the nothing but the internal shape, that is the rotational surface machining, the fourth digit is nothing but the plane surface machining, and fifth digit is nothing but the auxiliary holes. Then the next, that is 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th are called the supplementary codes which represents the dimensions, the material, the initial forms of raw material, then the accuracy. So in this OPTIS system, the system is coding system is categorized into three different sections, okay, depending upon the process. So here as we discussed, the first 5 digit is nothing but the geometric code, the next 4 digit is supplementary code, then okay, it may be, and then followed by the company specific of the 4-digit secondary code. So this is a continuation, that is primary digit and the secondary digit. Next one is the applications of the group technology, where all this group technology can be used. So group technology can be used in manufacturing. Okay, so what is manufacturing? In manufacturing, it benefits in many ways. It reduces the number of variety of parts, process planning for remaining parts in easier and more consistent. So in computer process planning is important for tools for this. It is used to coding the similarities to plan consistently, standardize and accurately estimate cost. Next one is design engineering. As you know, the designer produces about 2 discrete new parts per week. Thus, even a small department design hundreds of parts each year. Without formal methods, designer cannot track the drawings. And what about the other departments? Group technology produces savings and benefits in almost every area of the business. It combines tasks, equipment, gauges, tooling and schedules into large group of similar elements for similar solutions. So this is regarding the other departments. So next comes the cellular manufacturing. So what is the cellular manufacturing? Cellular is a process of manufacturing subsection of just-in-time manufacturing and lean manufacturing, which comprise in the group technology. The goal of cellular manufacturing is to move quickly as possible to make a wide variety of similar products while making a little waste as possible. So cellular manufacturing involves the use of multiple cells in an assembly line fashion. Each of cells is composed of one or multiple different machines which carry out the certain task. The most frequently used machines in the cell layers include lathe, mill, drill. Okay, they are formed in a U shape. So what is this basically cellular manufacturing? In this cellular manufacturing, it uses a cells in which the machines are placed in a U shape so that the process is carried out as quickly as possible to achieve the target in the respective given time. So what are the benefits from the cellular manufacturing? It overhead time or overhead cost can be reduced. The number of benefits for employees working in cellular manufacturing: workers can move easily to see the problem or possible improvement within their own cells and tend to be more self-motivated to propose changes. So this is the explanation for the cellular manufacturing. Next, what are these machine cells? Machine cells are the group of machines arranged to produce similar part families. Okay, so here first one is the types of machine cells: single machine cell, group machine layout with manual handling, then group machine cell with the semi-integrated handling. So what is single machine cell? Single machine cell nothing but it consists of only one machine supporting fixtures and tooling, one or more parts families with basic types of process such as milling can be processed. Next, group machine layout with manual handling. So in this type of cell, to often organized in the U-shaped layout, includes more than one machine to process one or more part families. Last one is group machine cell with semi-integrated handling. So in this, the mechanized handling system such as conveyor is used to move the parts between the machines in the cells. Next, flexible manufacturing system, which is also known as a FMS. So what is this flexible manufacturing system? It is nothing but the manufacturing system in which there is some amount of flexibility that allows the system to react in case of changes, whether predicted or unpredicted. This flexibility is generally considered to fall into two categories, which both contain numerous subcategories. The first category is nothing but the machine flexibility, covers the system's ability to change to produce a new product type, then ability to change the order of operations executed on a part. Then the next, in the second category, it performs the same operations on a part as well as the system, which is able to observe the large scale changes such as volume, capacity or capability. So this is the explanation for the flexible manufacturing system. So what are the advantages from this flexible manufacturing system? The low cost per unit is produced, improved quality, greater machine efficiency, greater labor productivity, reduced manufacturing cost. Next, the components of an FMS, that is flexible manufacturing system. So this is the figure which represents the components which are used in flexible manufacturing system. So here you can see the floor space for the storage of the raw materials, then automated guided vehicle, that is AGV1, here the tool changer, okay, that is CNC machine 1, CNC machine 2, then the what all the components produce, they go inside and they fall outside. So here is the tool changer for changing the tools to perform the different operations. Then this is called the index table where CNC machine is placed, okay. Then next one is the this is the area sections, okay. Then automated guided vehicle 2, then this is the temporary storage unit, okay. Then to load and unload the automatic guided vehicle is used, then raw material storage from the roller conveyor. So this is a path where automated guided vehicle moves from one location to the another locations, okay. Then here computer control, it is all controlled by the computer, okay, which all the process can be followed, which can be activated from the central locations. So in this, the components, there are three basic components of an FMS. First one is the workstation, second one is the automated material handling and storage system, then third one is the computer control system. So what is this workstation? In workstation, in the present day's application, these workstations are typically computer numerical control machine tools that perform machining operations on families of parts. So in flexible manufacturing systems are being designed with other type of processing equipments, including inspection stations, assembly works and sheet metal press. Next, the automated material handling and storage system. So in this automated material handling and storage system, the various automated material handling systems are used to transport work parts and sub-assembly parts between the processing systems, okay. The various functions of this are temporary storage, then convenient access for loading and unloading of the work part. Third one is the computer control systems. So it is used to control the activities of processing stations and the material handling system in the FMS. The various functions of the computer control systems are traffic control, production control, shuttle control, work handling system and the monitoring. Next, the different types of FMS. There are 5 types of FMS. First one is sequential FMS, random FMS, dedicated FMS, engineered FMS, modular FMS. So what is the sequential FMS? In sequential FMS, it is a manufacturer one piece part batch type, and then planning and preparation is carried out by the next piece part batch type to be manufactured. So here the sequential means only one piece per batch is manufactured, then the next planning and preparation carried out in the next piece part batch type that is to be manufactured. Next, random FMS. So in random FMS, it manufactures any random mix of piece part types at any one time. So here it is a random mixture of different pieces that manufactures in a one time. Next one is the dedicated FMS. So it is a continuous manufacturing process for extension of the period. The same build limited mix piece batch part, then a batch type. Next one is the engineered FMS. It is a manufacturing the same mix of parts type throughout its lifetime. It is not unlike the random FMS. So in engineered FMS, what happens? The same mix of the part types throughout its lifetime it manufactures. Last one is the modular FMS. A modular FMS is the sophisticated FMS host which enables and FMS users to expand their capabilities in a stepwise fashion into any of the previous 4 types of FMS. So this is regarding the different types of FMS. Next one is the computer aided process planning. So what is this computer aided process planning? So here the process planning is concerned with determining the sequence of individual manufacturing operations which is needed to produce a given part or a product. The resulting operation sequence is documented on a form typically referred to as root sheet. The root sheet is a listing of production operations and associated machine tools for a work part or assembly. Next, methods of the CAP system. So there are 2 types of a CAP system, that is retrieval type CAP system, then generative CAP system. So what is this retrieval CAP system? So in this retrieval CAP systems we see the block diagram. So before that we need to know what is this retrieval CAP system. The retrieval CAP system uses parts classification and coding and group technology as a foundation. So in this approach the parts produced in a plant are grouped into part families distinguished according to their manufacturing characteristics. For each part family a standard process plan is established. The standard process plan is stored in a computer file and then retrieved for a new work part which belongs to that part family. So it represents nothing but the classification and coding for each part family. So here as shown in the figure, you see the users enters the code number, then what happens due to that code, the part family is searched, then if the part family is not found in that, then it is searches from the part family matrix file. Then after finding that, it processes to the standard machine routing retrieve, where the machine routing file the process is obtained. The next one is standard operations, that is retrieve or edit. If anything need to be edited, the process is done in this block, that is the operation sequence file it processes. The next one is the process plan formatter, where it formats the data, then it passes to the process plan or else from the other applications program. So this is the retrieval type CAP system, where the process is retrieved again and again for each part family. Next one is so this is the explanation regarding the retrieval type. Next one is the generative process planning system. So this is the block diagram which is regarding the generative process planning systems. So what is generative process planning? Generative process planning involves the use of computer to create an individual process plan from scratch automatically and without human assistance. In this, the computer employs a set of algorithms to progress through the various technical and logical decisions towards a final plan for manufacturing. So in this, what happens? The input into the term would include a comprehensive description of the work part. Then it involves the use of some part of the part code number to summarize the work part data, but does not involve the retrieval of existing standard plan. Instead of this general CAP system, it synthesizes the design of optimum process sequence based on the analysis of the part geometry material, and due to this the decision of manufacturing are made. So as per the diagram, you can see it represents the algorithm. First only the part is made in the CAD, then it's passed to the features, that is extraction from the CAD part, then the selection of the process, what process need to be followed, then selection of the machine tool for that process, then operation time calculations, and then the final process. So this all entire process is done with the interference of the system. So in this interference of system, the data knowledge base is stored, where from the machine specification capability and knowledge acquisitions is processed to the interference systems. From this the final process is obtained. So this is nothing but the generative process planning. Next one is this is a explanation regarding the generative process planning. Next one is the benefits of the CAP. First one is the increased productivity of process planner. So with this, what happens? The computer-aided process planning there is the reduced clerical efforts. Then planners have immediate access to the process planning database. Next one is reduced turnaround time. So in this what happens, in this system the process plan is able to prepare the route sheet for a new part in less time compared to the manual method. Next one, improved legibility. The computer prepared documents is neater and easier to read the manual written route sheets. So this, it produces the documents which is more neater and cleaner, so as to is very readable. Then the CAP system employs the standard text which facilitates the process plan in factory. Next one is the incorporation of other application programs. So in this what happens, the process planning system can be designed to operate in conjunction with other software packages to automate many of the time consuming manufacturing support functions. So that's regarding the benefits of the CAP system. Last one is the most likely questions for the examinations. So there are totally 5 questions where the students need to be focused for preparations of the examinations. Thank you.